Have you ever felt that sinking feeling? That digital panic when you're locked out of an account, or worse, you get that chilling suspicion that someone else is in. In that moment of pure stress, a lot of people make a really risky Google search. We're going to break down why that's such a bad idea and show you the safe, legal alternatives you actually need. It is a truly awful feeling. Your social media, your email, your whole online identity suddenly feels like it's either vanished or been taken over. It's so personal. And that first instinct is just to find the absolute fastest way to get it all back. And right there, in that moment of desperation, this search, hire a hacker, it can look like a lifeline. It sounds so direct, right? So effective. Like you're calling a digital locksmith who can just solve your problem in minutes. But the reality behind this search is way, way more dangerous than it looks. Okay, before we go any further, it is absolutely crucial to understand one thing. The word hacker isn't some single job description. The stereotype you see in the movies, the person in a dark hoodie breaking into systems, that's really only one tiny part of the story. This is the difference you have to get. On one side, you have black hat hackers. These are the criminals, the ones who break laws for their own gain. But on the other side, you have white hat or ethical hackers. And here's the thing. They are cybersecurity pros who use the exact same skills, but they do it with permission, legally, to find weaknesses and make our digital world safer for everyone. So let's just boil it down. When you're in trouble, you don't need a criminal who is probably just going to make things a whole lot worse. You need a professional, someone who operates within the law. The safe, legal expert you're actually looking for is an ethical hacker. All right, now that we're clear on who you should be looking for, let's talk about the serious, serious consequences of finding the wrong person. Because that desperate search for a hacker can backfire in some really spectacular and awful ways. And let me be perfectly clear about this. This isn't some what-if scenario I'm making up. The domino effect of hiring the wrong person online is very, very real, and it happens to people every single day. You're really facing three huge risks. First, you could face serious legal trouble yourself. Hiring someone to break into an account is, a crime. Second, you're a perfect target for a financial scam. And third, and this is the most ironic part, in your attempt to solve a security problem, you might just hand over your sensitive data directly to a criminal, creating an even bigger disaster. Just think about what's really going on here. The vast majority of these so-called hacker-for-hire sites, they're not actually services. They're traps. They're built specifically to prey on your desperation, take your money, and then poof, they're gone. Or even worse, they use the very information you gave them to exploit you even more. Okay, that was the scary part, I know, but here's the good news. You don't have to take any of these risks. There are established, professional, and completely legal ways to solve your digital problems safely and, effectively. So here's your secure toolkit. Instead of that sketchy search, you can look for certified ethical hackers or even hire entire cybersecurity firms. Honestly, for a lot of problems, your best first step is just using the official recovery tools that companies like Google or Apple provide. And for really serious breaches, that's when you call in the digital forensic specialists. They're the experts who can trace exactly what happened. Here is a perfect example of what these professionals actually do. It's called penetration testing. Think of it like this. You hire a security expert to legally try to break into your own house. They're not there to rob you. They're there to show you where the locks are weak, where the windows are loose, so you can fix those problems before a real burglar finds them. So, you need a professional, not a criminal. But out there on the wild west of the internet, how in the world do you tell them apart? How do you actually check someone out and make sure they're the real deal? Here are the green flags. These are the good signs that you're dealing with a pro. Look for industry certifications, things like CEH or CISSP. A real professional will have transparent pricing and will always be willing to give you a written contract. That contract should spell out exactly what they will and won't do. Clear legal guidelines and good reviews are also huge indicators that you're on the right track. And now for the flip side. These are the giant waving red flags that should tell you to just turn and run. Anyone promising to hack an account quickly with no questions asked, that's almost certainly a scam. If they demand payment only in cryptocurrency, that is a massive warning sign. And of course, if they refuse to sign a contract or are openly offering to do illegal things, you know you are in the wrong place. When you get right down to it, it all comes down to this. Making your digital life stronger and safer doesn't require breaking the law. It just requires finding the right expert and taking the right approach. It's about being smart and protecting your data, your money, and honestly, your own peace of mind. So, the next time you feel that digital panic setting in, just ask yourself, what's the first safe step you're going to take?